Speaking of, recent polls do indicate that a small percentage of voters could be turned off by this conviction, which could be critical in what we're expecting to be a close election.
Yeah, the other major wild card is sentencing. Will the judge in the case send the former president to prison? We're joined now by criminal defense attorney Alaleh Kamron as we dive into more on Trump's conviction. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, ladies. It is a pleasure being here this morning.
So prosecutors win almost all the time, 98% of the time, right? But did it surprise you that former President Trump was actually convicted on all counts?
Actually, Rutabe, yes. 34 counts is a lot of counts. And I thought there would be some split counts. There would be some hung counts. I did not think that we would have, first of all, I didn't think we'd have a verdict in 11 hours. And I didn't think we would have a verdict on all 34 counts. So this was kind of surprising, yes.
Okay, and let's talk about whether or not the president will actually face prison time. He could possibly face up to 20 years in prison. But what do you think his actual sentence will be? A lot of experts saying this kind of crime doesn't typically come with prison time.
You know, this type of crime does not come with prison time, but also we have somebody who's running for the president of the United States. And I think this Judge Merchan, given the fact that he was he was very wise in his decisions, and he was not making rash decisions. I don't think he's going to put a political candidate behind bars, therefore cutting off the elections at the knees. That would be major election interference. So, no, I don't think Trump is going to get a prison sentence. It's probably going to be some kind of a probationary sentence with community service. In the unlikely event there is some kind of an incarceration that is imposed, it's probably going to be stayed until after the elections or after he has served his time in office.
Now that he is a convicted felon, how is this going to affect his other criminal cases and possible sentencing if he's convicted in those cases?
Well, as you know, the federal cases are stuck in the appeals process, the appellate process. There's a morass going on over there. Nothing is moving. We're waiting for the Supreme Court to give us a decision on the immunity claim. I think Trump right now needs to concentrate on the Georgia case, because that's the case where he cannot grant himself a pardon in case he is elected as president. On the other two cases, he can actually, there's a possibility that he can actually pardon himself. So how is it going to affect the sentencing? Probably not. But right now, the most important matter on Trump's calendar is the next case.
All right, Alaleh Kamron, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me on.
And we will have continuing coverage of the Trump guilty verdict. Stay with KCAL News and KCALnews.com for the very latest. And we are also streaming 24/7 on CBS Los Angeles.